Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about integrated payments in Acumatica. And to join me, I have payments expert Russ Graf from EBizCharge. Russ, do you mind introducing yourself and sharing a little bit about eBiz?
Sure, you bet. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. Happy to join you today. Yeah, I've been in the space a long time. You can see I've got a full head of gray hair, and I've been in the Acumatica space for probably 10 years, but overall ERP systems for close to 40 years. I was a reseller like Strategies Group for about 25 of those years. Founded a couple of firms, so I've been on your side of the desk. So been in this space a long time. Been with EBizCharge now for a couple of years, and really a great, really a leader in the payments environment. Been around for 20 plus years, still privately held, right? Run every day still by the same husband and wife that started the company 21 years ago, which
That's
was
awesome.
attractive to me when I joined them. Because it creates a certain culture, I think that I'm comfortable with, and that I think works well for our customers and our partners. So I'm in the role of director of strategic partnerships. So I have the privilege of working with Strategies Group in that role. So I'm really excited to be here with you. And yeah, we're just been a veteran player in the space, and 400,000 users over those 20 years. Very well established firm.
Yeah, and eBiz has a native payment integration to Acumatica, correct?
That's correct. And it's been in place for probably 10 years now. I think the latest release of Acumatica 2025 R1 is maybe close to our 20th version of our integration. So very deep, mature, solid product. Yep.
Yeah. So I want to kind of shift from eBiz and talk generally.
Mhm.
What, in your opinion, is happening in payments today? I know there's a lot of changes. There's AI. There's a lot of different tools on the market. Could you sum it up for me? What's the landscape look like?
Yeah, it is very much a moving target, right? Lots of changes, lots of players, very competitive, and so forth. Lots of regulation and compliance issues that are
Mhm.
always in play. Lots of concern with fraud and security environments. So there is a lot going on, and it does take a lot to stay on top of it. And we've got a firm now of over 250 people with our own underwriting, our own security people, and so forth that really keep track of that. And I think what end users, or what we call a merchant, really are dealing with is a couple of things. One is workflow, right? How much can I accomplish in the applications that I'm working with every day, whether that's Acumatica or a shopping cart or a CRM system, whatever it might be. How much can I accomplish within that, and have an ease of workflow to be able to accept payments, whether that's credit card or debit card or e-checks or ACH. So I think that integration is a big challenge. We still run into companies that are taking phone calls and writing down credit card numbers on a piece of paper, right? And then
We're
keying
working
it
with
in.
companies with paper checks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then keying those into the accounting application, and having to do manual reconciliation afterwards. So there's
Mhm.
still a big opportunity out there to help, especially middle market firms, small, medium-sized businesses, to really figure out how to solve that problem, prevent that error prone nature of that environment, and the security risks of that environment. So I think that's a big part of it. And then, as you know, every small, medium-sized business really struggles with cash flow.
Yep.
So the sooner you can accept payment, get that reconciled, get those payments in from your customers, even if they're on terms, give them an environment where it's easy to make those payments. That's going to help cash flow, which is really king for medium-sized businesses.
Yeah, and not even just all medium-sized businesses, but specifically construction, which was what we focused on. Like cash is king. Cash flow is
You bet.
always in question. So I think it's important to be able to get that money quickly when you're being paid, and that's something that you guys definitely have helped some of our customers with,
You bet.
and I'm sure your larger ecosystem with. Um, so I want to go back a little bit and
Okay.
ask what is integrated AR, and how can EBizCharge help with that?
Yeah, good question. Like I said, probably is a term that's overused a little bit, and so it can get a little fuzzy. But I think what it really, there's levels of integration, right? How deep is the connection point between that third-party add-on product, whatever it might be. In our case, we're talking about payments, and the core application that users are working in most of the day. And so you want to have that natural workflow so that if I'm creating an invoice in Acumatica, I've got that payment option available to me just right in the normal flow of that activity without having to exit, maybe go to another application or whatever. So whether that's taking deposits on sales orders or whether that's accepting payments and having that hit the bank rec properly and so forth, it's really about a level of deep integration so that I don't have to exit what I'm doing. I can just do things in my normal flow of operations. I think that's a big part of it. And then another part is just how easily installed it is, right? So if it's time to install our application or update it to new versions, which of course is always happening in ERP environments, how easy is that, right? And in our case, it's an embedded application. It goes in very quickly. It's a well-assigned package. And again, we've been a platinum level reseller and I'm a developer with Acumatica for 10 years.
Yeah, that takes it a step above what just a standard integration is.
Yeah.
You hear these buzz terms like native integration, but what it truly means is exactly what you're saying. Having it right within the system, a button in the system that
Yep.
syncs the two. I think that just takes integration to the next level and is what the
Mhm.
future of integration is. And it's great that you guys have that with Acumatica, making payments seamless.
Well, and
Um,
Acumatica is a great platform, right? I mean, that's one of its
mhm.
calling cards in the marketplace. Is it really makes it accessible for firms like us to really get in there and do the right job for our end users.
Yeah, completely open API, an open development channel
Yep.
too. So
Yep.
it's it's great what two companies that have that can do together. And what brings me to our next question is like,
Yep.
how does that elevate the user experience? What is the experience like for users that are using EBizCharge and Acumatica?
Yeah, well, I think that's a good question. And there's probably a couple of touch points. First is that initial installation, right? Once
Mhm.
we come to terms and we're going to do business together, what does that process look like? And we've got that be as a very seamless application installation. We just, it doesn't take very long, probably 15, 20 minutes in most cases. Now, sometimes there are other, again, shopping carts or other applications that we need to integrate with. So it might add a little bit of extra complexity, but all that is all native and ready to go. So our team can have a very seamless process there for the end user to get them up and running and installed. Then, of course, there's a training and onboarding process, which is all built into our application. So we've got a solid team that just gets people through that whole onboarding, understanding how to use the tool, doing some test transactions quickly, and then bang, you're live, right? We go live very quickly, in many cases in a couple of days. From the time of installation, people are up and running and taking credit cards, if not the same day. So that's one part of it. Then there's the part that we talked about already, which is in the workflow of the day-to-day operations. How native is that? How easy is that and seamless is that, right? And then I think the third touch point is really on the back end of support, right? If I have an issue, how do I get help, right? And so in the case of EBizCharge, we're responsible for that. You make one phone call to us, you're talking to a technician typically in less than 30 seconds of hold time on our 800 number, which is unprecedented in our industry. And we're responsible for that because we're the developer, we're the integrator, we're the gateway, we're the processor. We own that whole flow. So we're responsible for taking care of it, and we do. So I think there's multiple touch points where that integration word comes into play.
Yeah. On that support aspect, we have truly seen that where if our customers have any issues with eBiz and Acumatica together, your team has always jumped in very quickly, and that's not common. Like you said, a lot of
Right.
vendors aren't very quick with their support. They have high volume, as I'm sure you guys do too, but that respect for the client and the client's time
Yep.
to answer a question in a timely manner is incredible and invaluable. So I want to talk about the typical workflow. You've touched on this already, but
Mhm.
an invoice is sent from Acumatica the same way as it usually is. But
Yep.
how can we go a little bit deeper? What else does the process look like for individuals?
Yes, probably the most common integration point and usage case is where that invoice goes out with a button built into the invoice that's a click to pay type of environment, right? So
Mhm.
it's branded and looks exactly like the merchant wants it to, right? It fits their branding and color coding and all that kind of stuff. We can customize the form to put it wherever they want on that form. But when the customer, the end user of that merchant gets that invoice, very easy to just click a button, takes them right into a very secured environment to enter their credit card and make that payment. So that's probably the most common use case. But then the other one is in cases where companies may be on terms and they're not necessarily paying that invoice immediately, but they've got 15 or 30-day terms, whatever it might be. Now we give them access to a customer portal where they can make those payments. So it's once a week or every 2 weeks, whatever their, again, workflow and procedure is internally. They log into our secured portal environment and can pick which invoices they want to pay, maybe partial payments. You can set up recurring payments, all kinds of flexibility within that portal environment. So those are probably the two biggest
Mhm.
use cases where either I'm clicking to pay right away or I'm going into a portal environment and having a little bit more management capability there.
Yeah, for companies that have recurring customers, something like this is really invaluable. That portal environment with, yeah, recurring payments, like you said,
Right.
or being able to look at all your invoices, seeing what was paid, seeing what's not paid. Um, I always like those types of environments, like something as simple as paying my bills for
Yep.
my
We
internet. I
experience that
can
as
go
consumers
in.
all the time, right?
Yeah.
So now that's a level of expectation. It's just like what Amazon has done to the web environment, right? We have a certain level of expectation now for customer service and effectiveness and efficiency, and so
Hmm.
we've got to meet that level, and so we do. And again, the easier you make that, the better the cash flow is because now there's
Yeah.
less impediment, there's less friction for that customer to make that payment, and now our customers are happy because cash is flowing in and they can count on it. And there's even little reminders and little collections type of things that can be
Mhm.
deployed in that environment as well. So again, it's all about speeding that cash flow.
Yeah, Sally on your team doesn't have to call up
Right.
Billy Bob and ask him for his credit card number once a month. We can have that recurring. We can give them email updates, all those
Right.
things. So
Exactly.
just streamlines everything so
Yep.
much.
That's the right word.
Yeah. Um, so lastly, I
Mhm.
just want to ask, why do you think this partnership between eBiz and Strategies Group matters? What value are we collectively bringing the customer?
Oh, that's actually a great question. First of all, obviously, you guys are a leader, right? You just won Construction Partner of the Year at the last
Thank you.
Acumatica Summit, right? And
Mhm.
congratulations again for that.
Thank you.
I know you're involved in your local community in the CFMA environment and others, other Acumatica user groups environments and so forth. So you guys are leaders in what you do. So it's great for us to be aligned with you. We're leaders in what we do. We're feel like
Absolutely.
we're the best out there in our marketplace. So the combination of that ends up with a great solution. It's really about solving business problems for your customers and our customers, our mutual customers. And so the more problems we can solve, the more we can speed up that cash flow, make those processes and workflows easier for the end users. They can focus on their business, right? They're not in the
Mhm.
business of collecting cash. They're in the business of providing whatever products and services it is that they sell and market. So we just want to get out of the way, make that efficient. And I think with your team and your ability to work with Acumatica and streamline its implementation and support, and then working with us, it's a killer combination, and we couldn't be more excited than to work with you guys.
Yeah, yeah, it's a no-brainer. The experts in 2 different areas, bringing them together and,
Yep.
um, taking it off of your hands.
Yep.
I think it's a match made in heaven.
And you're great to work with. We really enjoy our partnership. You've got a great team. I mean, I've known Randy Collins, the founder, for many years, and
Mhm.
now to see another generation and you guys continuing to grow and doing great things, I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, me too. Last thing, if someone wants to see more or see eBiz in action,
Mhm.
what would the next step be?
Yeah, a couple of easy options. Obviously, you can reach out to you or anybody on your team
Mhm.
to ask questions and find out more. They can reach out to me. They can probably find me on LinkedIn, easy enough if that's an option for them. Or obviously go into EBizCharge.com. Our website has got a lot of great content. It's got some videos, all kinds of information that they can tour around and take a look at our stuff. So very easy to find us and get more data, and we'd be happy to follow up and have a deeper conversation with them.
Yeah, I've been on your website. It definitely is very informational and helpful. So
Good.
I would encourage people to go check that out and do your research before you're having the conversations. Figure out what you really want.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
100%. And I know,
Well,
and you guys obviously operate as a trusted advisor, right? Your
mhm.
clients come to you for advice and they trust your advice. You've done a good job for them thus far. They're gonna follow your guidance and lead on that. So I think that's a great starting point as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Russ, for
You
kind of
bet.
talking about eBiz today and informing me a little bit more about payments. I really appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure. Hopefully we can continue the conversation again.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.